Hey guys, welcome back to Fox 5 News Live. I'm Judea Murray. If you have been paying attention to what's going on with these ICE protests, you may be interested in this headline. There are some ICE facilities making their way to Georgia, and not everybody is excited about it. So let's start out in Social Circle, where we heard originally that the Department of Homeland Security allegedly skipped out on a meeting surrounding a new ICE center. So let me tell you the details first, and then I'll get you our latest update. Social Circle city officials say that they were supposed to have a meeting 2 p.m. on Friday with the Department of Homeland Security. They would be talking about this facility that's coming in that's going to have 10,000 beds. Again, this is a very big deal because Social Circle only has a population of 5,000 people. So if you added 10,000, you would essentially be tripling the population. Can the city's infrastructure handle that? That has been the big question. So some leaders, and they're both Republicans and Democrats, I mean, we heard from Mike Collins, we heard from Senator Raphael Warnock, both sides say that they don't believe the city of Social Circle can hold that many people. I mean, just based on their water and their sewage systems alone, it would be overwhelming. And so it can be assumed that the Social Circle officials thought that they would be talking to the Department of Homeland Security about some of their concerns. But they do say that on 2 p.m. On Friday, no one showed up to their meeting. They say they waited for about 45 minutes and they heard nothing. They say that they were given contact information for, I believe it's a deputy chief of staff, and heard nothing back. We reached out to the Department of Homeland Security trying to figure out how could something like this happen? What's going on with the meeting? Is there going to be another one? Well, first of all, the Department of Homeland Security says that they don't have a deputy chief of staff, so they don't know who the city of Social Circle had planned to meet on Friday, and that's potentially why no one showed up. And so we've reached back out to the city to get a little bit more information on who they thought they were supposed to be meeting with. And hopefully we can bring you that update later on in the news on Fox 5 Atlanta, or you can check our website, Fox Local. Our digital team is working proactively, like literally right now, to try to get that answer for you all. In the meantime, we know there's another facility also in Georgia, this one about an hour and some change north of Social Circle out in Oakwood, which is part of Hall County. Some protesters have been rallying against ICE facility that could potentially open up in their area. This is a $150 million project. They would have to retrofit a warehouse that will be turned into an ICE regional processing facility. So 50 people gathered outside the Oakwood City Hall with signs, chanting. They all had their own qualms about what they felt would be a bad idea if they brought in this ICE facility. A couple of people said that they have children in the area, schools very close nearby, and they don't want their children exposed to seeing the kinds of things that maybe take place at a detention center. We know that that facility could potentially hold 1,400 to 1,600 people, and again would cost about $158 million in order to retrofit a warehouse to make it operational for ICE. Right now, I can tell you that the facility is expected as a warehouse to close in the next 2 weeks and then be operational under ICE's control in the next couple of months. So not quite sure if the protesters' voices were heard there, but not everybody is against the facility. We do know that Representative Andrew Clyde is very much a proud supporter of that facility, saying that North Georgia needs something like it in order to rein in on illegal immigration and some of the crime that he believes comes with it. We've also been telling you a little bit more about this man who was killed during a police chase, and according to police, that chase was over a license cover. Now, I want to be explicit. This man was not part of said police chase. He was somebody who was just in the area, a pedestrian. That car, it was a black Mercedes-Benz sedan. That's the car that police were looking for. They say they originally pulled this person over because they had some extra dark tints and then a tinted license plate cover. During that run-of-the-mill stop, they say the person got back on the road and fled, and they went after them, chased them. That person ended up hitting 59-year-old Terry Lohman with the front of their car, excuse me. I do not know if this suspect is a man or a woman. That is the car that you're seeing there on your screen, has a Texas license plate BLK63. That is the car that they are trying to identify, hoping that maybe one of you out there listening to this right now, or somebody who saw this, maybe saw the story, maybe would have some more information. I can tell you a little bit more about that victim though. 59-year-old Terry Loman. Even at 59, he was the youngest of 3 boys. He had children of his own. His family says he was just 2 blocks away from home at the time that this happened. So they're all just shocked. How in the world could something like this happen so close to home to somebody who had nothing to do with what was originally going on? We do know that this case is being investigated. They're even going into a deeper investigation on the chase itself. Again, hoping to maybe come with some information or come away with some information about that potential suspect. The family for sure wants justice. We actually got to interview the brother of Terry, and his brother said, and I quote, "They will get you. They will hunt you down like the dog you are, and you will pay for my brother's death." The Georgia State Patrol is now involved in this investigation. If you have any information, again, this is a black Mercedes-Benz sedan with a Texas license plate, BLK63. Tinted windows, may still have that tinted license plate cover. If you have any information at all, you're urged to call police immediately at 706-624-1484. I'll give you the number one more time. It is 706-624-1484. Last but not least, I want to close out with this search for Nancy Guthrie. We know that it ramped up overnight, and we have recently learned that there were no arrests so far in this investigation. You're actually taking a live look right now at a drone that is flying over her house out in Tucson, Arizona. So last night, there was this major operation underway where we know that police ended up detaining 3 people. One person in particular taken from a Culver's restaurant in the parking lot. The car that person was associated with had been identified and then towed away. Well, at this point in time this morning, we learned from Fox News and from the Pima County Sheriff that's out there in Tucson, Arizona, that all 3 of those people released. So the only information that we have right now, which unfortunately is actually very disappointing at this point in time, because Nancy's been gone for 10 months. I mean, not 10 months, 10 days. 10 days now. But knowing that no one's remaining in custody, we don't have any more information, we don't have a name for a suspect, is, like I said, all pretty disappointing at this point in time. Hoping that soon we can get you guys some more. What I can tell you though, they've got a description of a suspect based on some surveillance camera video that was taken from Nancy Guthrie's home. She had a doorbell camera that was able to show a man, they believe someone between 5'9" and 5'10" with an average build, coming up and messing around with that security camera before it was disabled, disarmed in some sort of way. And so we don't get to see the rest of what played out, but they did recover that video. So the FBI is increasing its reward for any information that could lead to finding Nancy, finding that suspect, and bringing someone to justice. It's $100,000 for any information that you may have or someone you know. The search has already entered its 2-week mark. And remember, I did tell you it's been 10 days now that Nancy Guthrie, the mother of today's show host, Savannah Guthrie, has been missing. We've heard a couple of statements from the family themselves. They are very much so holding on to the hope that Nancy is still out there somewhere and alive, and that they will get her in one piece safe home at some point in time. Again, unfortunately, the sheriff says that there have been no arrests, no named suspects in this case. Right now, we're just waiting to hear the latest. Hopefully, maybe we'll get some more information today. But again, I just want to bring you back out to that live drone that is flying over Nancy's home. You're taking a look at it there. It has been flying around the neighborhood, but eventually it'll show Nancy's home again. This, as that search ramps up, but kind of goes cold this morning. You can actually see the media staging. You see those tents on the ground and all of those cars. That's the media staging area where we will hopefully be hearing from some reporters later on in the day. So thank you for joining me. I'm Judea Murray. It's been my pleasure to bring you the latest news all across Georgia, the U.S., and even a couple of international stories. We know the news will continue, so stick with us. We also have a lot more content available for you on the Fox Local app, so don't go anywhere. Another show begins right after this.